everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I'm your host, DBoss. And I just hope that everybody out there is doing their 15 minutes of laughing, because what you put out is what you get back. But also the laughing is something good for your health. It's good to release those endorphins and all that bad stuff in your body. Also, it brings down your blood pressure. It can warm up your vocal cords. It can do a lot of stuff by laughing. And a lot of people, it can heal your body. I'm not saying don't take your medication and what you have to do, but do your 15 minutes. If you don't have anybody to laugh with, you could always laugh with somebody, put something funny on, and you just get your 15 minutes in, and then you're done. You can go back to your grumpy self. But I hope that you wouldn't do that to yourself. But anyways, from one of our sponsors here, I'm just going to play something from Vital Fit, and we'll be right back. And I'll introduce you to our next exciting guest.
Welcome to your Healthy Minute. I'm Joanne James, and today we're talking about how important it is to warm up. Warming up your body is important because it prepares it for the workout. How does it warm it up? It increases the blood flow from the heart to the working muscles. It also lubricates the joints, and it prepares the tendons and the ligaments for that workout. Other great benefits is it reduces your risk for injury, and mentally it gets you prepped and ready. So what does a warm-up look like? Two parts. One, a light aerobic type activity, and also dynamic stretching and a little bit of static stretching if that's your choice. A warm-up is incredibly important for better performance and getting the results you want from your workout. So remember, warm up every time you get ready to do a workout. I'm Joanne James. Welcome to this Healthy Minute, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Well, thank you, Joanne James, for that warm-up. But I'm telling you, today we got a special guest. He's fusing spoken word and hip-hop's culture expressions with a Colombian Afro-Indigenous beat. He's also a two-time JUNO-nominated award. But you know what? We're going to find out all about what he's done, what he's doing from the horse's mouth. And we're going to find out exactly what's happening to him, because he wants to tell everybody all this exciting news himself. So with no further ado, I introduce to you BENY ESGUERRA.
Peace and much love, everybody. I'm saying hello from Toronto, specifically the Jane and Finch community, which is where I'm from, where I do a lot of work and where, my compositions come from. So I'm very happy to be here sharing some of the work that I do with you.
All right. So everybody wants to know what's your cultural background and where you come from.
So I was born in Colombia, and
wow.
from the South, from the real South, and so I grew up with a lot of different influences, specifically indigenous music from Colombia and Afro-Colombian music. And I also grew up in an urban setting in Bogota. So I grew up, with all kinds of different influences, and then coming to Toronto at a young age, one of the most multicultural cities in the world, I was also influenced by everything from here. So my music is a reflection of that. My music is traditional Afro-Indigenous Colombian music, but from an inner city Canadian lens. So I'm mixing in the elements of hip hop, DJing, MCing, breaking, spoken word, beatboxing with traditional instruments that I've studied all my life, such as the percussion instruments that have their origins in West Africa, but also indigenous flutes that have their origins in South America. And that is what is featured in my music and in my albums.
Oh, okay. All right. So you speak Spanish? You there? You speak Spanish?
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. You speak Spanish?
Oh, yeah, claro que sí. Yo hablo español. Yo hablo español y también hablo Spanglish. And if you guys don't know what Spanglish is, it's the language of the future.
Okay, so you could greet your people in Colombia, which say something. You just said something, but you could greet them. You can greet them.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I
You can.
I couldn't
You
hear
can.
you. I couldn't hear you that well.
Oh, okay. No, you could say something in Spanish to your Colombian people that you'd want to say something to them, and see you here.
Of course. Un placer, mi gente, estar aquí. Los estoy saludando desde Toronto, desde Janie Finch. Aquí estoy representando la música latinoamericana, la música colombiana, y espero que me sigan en las redes. Pueden seguirme a New Tradition Music y ahí pueden escuchar mi música.
Okay. Well, Gwennis, we're there. All right. So, what made you want to become an artist?
Well, I come from a family of artists. So both my
Woo.
parents were doing arts, were doing arts education, and they were also doing social activism in Colombia. So I grew up in that context, and that's what I grew up knowing. So naturally, it was easy for me to go into the arts. And then coming to Toronto, I was also supported by a community of people that brought us in. And many of the first spaces that I was able to perform in were in those community spaces. So I've always been very lucky to have been supported by my parents and also a community of people, and that just gave me the motivation to continue in the arts.
Okay. So, who taught you to play the drums? Who taught you to play the drums? All right.
Sorry, the reception is not
Yes. Sorry.
very good.
I said who taught you to play the drums?
Oh, I couldn't hear the question.
Okay. No, who taught you to play the drums? You played the drums?
Yeah, so who taught me to play the drums and who taught me to play the flutes? Um, I grew up in that context, kind of taking it in, absorbing it. Like I said, many of my family members are artists, so I grew up learning just by absorption, and then eventually I began to take formal music lessons in high school, where I auditioned to art school, and there I began to learn about theory. I began to pick up books and teach myself through videos as well. I began taking lessons with all the different musicians that were already part of the Toronto music scene. And then eventually I went to university. So it's a mix of learning how oral, you know, musicians learn through oral tradition, but also through actual taking lessons in school and learning from books and all of that. So it's really a mix of the two.
Okay, so you only play drums, or do you play any other musical instruments?
Say it again.
Do you play any other musical instruments?
I also beatbox. I
Okay.
also rap. I play electronic instruments like the MPC,
Okay.
a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar.
Oh, okay. You see? All right. So when you're thinking and doing your music, where's your place that you go? Do you just drive? Do you get up and say, you know what? Let me do this now, or where do you think?
Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Okay. Sorry. No, where do you go and think
Can
when
you
you
repeat
want
that?
to do where do you go to do your music, when you compose your music or you write your music? Where do you do that in?
Where do I go to perform my music?
Yeah, or no, when you create, you write.
When I create, I draw from my community where I'm from, the Jane Finch community in Toronto. You know, it's a community that has many artists from.
Welcome to your Healthy Minute. I'm Joanne James, and today we're talking about exercise snacking. It's a fantastic way to incorporate physical activity into your day. And it looks like this, anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. You can, when you're at work, go for a walk around the building, or you can take the stairs instead of the elevator. When you're at home, play with the kids, have an active game of tag. Or when you're watching TV during the commercial, stand, do some stretches, and then sit back down. There's always a way that you can incorporate exercise into your daily routine. So remember, try to take advantage of those moments during the day when you can actually stretch and feel better and feel energized. I'm Joanne James. This has been your Healthy Minute. I look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care.
Hi Richard, it's Mom. I'm just ringing just to tell you I love you. Have a good time. Take care. Yeah, just text us when you arrive. Let us know that you've arrived, and hope everything goes all right for you. Okay. All right. Speak to you later. Love you. Bye bye.
Well, we're here with you just have a little bit of technical difficulties with BENY ESGUERRA. So we're just gonna just wait to see when he comes back on, and we'll be right back.
Several years we never touch one. We are bound away from this world of misery.
The experience that you have when you see people pull up with you, just be like, I want to see like the brain and the teeth and everything. You want to explore about the blackfish. The last time they thought of catch like a big grandpa fish, like big.
It's a waste of time, so you're gonna do whale watching. You don't have that niche that you used to have. Because Vincentian on a whole. But it's not into whale watching. Into whale eating. It's about the food, it's a livelihood. You have to eat. Even my uncle thought, well, he have a record of shooting one of the biggest whale ever came in here.
We are bound away from this world of misery. Oh, misery. I come to tell you.
Fishing line, and there's the good one. There's the blackish one.
I come from a village of hard-working seamen who have.
We're back here
We're
with
back. I hope
BENY.
this works.
Yes, and BENY's here. He just had a little bit of technical difficulties, but he's back. All right. So BENY, where do you go when you want to do your you think up and you compose your songs? Where do you go? In the backyard? You sit down? Where do you do?
You know what? A lot of it happens right here. That's kind of my booth, and that's where a lot of it happens while I'm recording. But it all depends. Sometimes I just get inspiration anywhere. I might be driving and I have to pull over and make some notes, or I'll be in the middle of a rehearsal and I'll make some notes. That's kind of how it happens.
Oh, all right. Okay, so how do you feel being nominated 2 times for a Juno Award?
Oh, it's an honor, especially to be nominated consecutively in the categories that are the most competitive, which are the first one was the global music category, and then and then the other one was the world music category. And those are the categories that are the most competitive, because it's basically where everybody who does not fit into the mold of all of the other categories is thrown into that one. So you get many more applicants than you would in the regular categories. So for me to be a nominee 2 times in a row is an honor, and it just confirms that I'm doing something right, and that the team that I'm working with is doing something right.
All right. So we're going there. So who can you tell us who you've worked with in the industry?
Oh, I worked with one of my producers, Luis Orbegoso. He's a legend in the Latin music scene, working behind the scenes as a producer and also as a multi-instrumentalist. Many of the artists, that have been featured in the previous albums, artists like, for example, Scylla, who are throat singers from Iqaluit, from Nunavut. Artists like, local Toronto artists like Jay Wise, from BC, Mama Rude Giel NTHC from Rude Gang Entertainment, artists from the Bronx, New York, Rebel Diaz, who are also featured in that album, from Texas, Artsin, an MC, indigenous MC from Colombia, Jotaika Bops, Ata, artists like Zakisha Brown. The list goes on, so many
At least
different.
you have a lot of people. He has a lot of people. Okay,
Yes.
So if you had to pick 3 artists that in the future, who would you like to work with? And tell us.
Oh man, that is a difficult question, because there's so many different genres and styles that I play with. But I love, honestly, collaborating with artists from my community that are coming up, or artists that are also from the community that are established. So right now we're actually in talks with artists like Julie Black, who might be collaborating in one of our songs with a mobile studio project that I lead in my community. Also artists like Lola Buns, Chantel Onedo, who is a Peruvian singer who just moved up to Toronto, who is really well known in Peru. So those are some of the artists that I would love to work with in the future.
All right. Well, you never know, because here on Real Life Matters, people be seeking out different people to make sure to find out, who does he want to work with. All right.
Yes.
So are you so have you been in any movies or anything like that, or have you been approached?
No movies, nothing like that. No, I haven't been approached for movies.
Okay. Well, you never know.
Yes, I would love to. Of course. Always open to trying new things and new ventures, and I love collaborating too. So always open for that.
That's good. So are you like collaborating? You like doing a little bit of soca? Are you into the Afro beats?
I love soca. I mean, I grew up going to Caravana. I even for a long time I played with Pan Fantasy, which is one of the best steel pan groups in Toronto. And obviously the music that I play is music from the Caribbean. So I'm always influenced by music from the Caribbean.
Wow. You see? That's something that's good to know. All right. So you're going to tell us about these songs now. You're going to tell me about Rainfall. How did you come up with that? What's that about?
This song was written during the time when the forest fires were happening in the Amazon, and also in Australia, and also in the Congo. This was right before the pandemic, around 2019. And, these forest fires were being caused because of issues like deforestation, just poor land management practices. And it was right after those forest fires, which are known, especially the Amazon forest fires, which are known as the lungs of the earth. It was right after that we began to learn about COVID-19 and the pandemic. So this song is inspired by all of that, and it's kind of making a link between the two, and just it's a call for the rain to fall and put out the fires.
Well, I guess you kind of made that one for this year too.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
All
it's
these
true.
fires in Nova Scotia, Quebec, and Alberta. All
It's
right.
true.
All right. So we're going to hear this song, and you can do what you want with it, and we're going to hear it.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for the water so we're healing tomorrow. Let it drip down and wash away the sorrow. Flood the flames that got us feeling hollow. It's burning my lungs, making it hard to swallow. Drowning in the fire that's killing the jungle. Stumble across the land as it starts to crumble. Squeeze the clouds and let the thunder rumble. Hear the storm come together like a million-piece puzzle. Feel the sky drip down till it soaks in the dirt. Make Mother Earth muddy and take away the hurt. Give thanks to the tribes that have put in work to keep things sacred. They know what it's worth. Let the Amazon feel free and heal from the pain. Squeeze the corporate monster and the grip of shame. When the world goes dry and there's nothing to gain, we listen to the drum as we dance for the rain. Hey, this is a traditional cumbia style from Colombia, and if you notice, the verse was like a dance hall beat, so that shows the different rhythms that I'm playing with. And that's the rain. It's called for the rain to fall and put out all the fires. Usted escuchando radionovela. Ese fuego no viene de vela. Ese humo no huele a somerio. Ese blanco destruyendo el suelo y no va a aprender, no se va a saciar. Todo lo que ve lo destruirá, pero va a perder, todo perderá y le va a doler y lo llorará. Este es un canto para que llueva, para que vuelva a regar la tierra, para que vuelva a brotar la semilla. Y aprendamos de lo que germina, que nos dé abundancia, que nos dé equilibrio, que nos llueve adentro para andar más limpios, que se ordene el fuego y danza tranquilos y los elementos vuelvan a su sitio. Que llueva means let the rain fall. Hey, let the rain fall. Let the rain fall.
Oh, that sounds so good. I caught you there. Woo! It's a good song. I like it when the instruments come in and like na 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 na.
Yeah, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's a mix of everything, right? I'm trying to bring in the live instruments, but also keep the electronic beats going, the turntablism and DJ aspects going, the MPCs and dance hall with the MCing and all of that.
Wow, it sounds good. Wow, that's good.
Thank
People
you.
go out there. Do you have a video for this one?
No, not for this one.
Okay.
Not for this one.
Okay. Well, anyways, you guys go and make a comment, please. You and it better be positive and all that. All right. All right. Okay. Now the next one here, he goes, "Wow, whoa, let it happen."
We won't let it happen.
We won't let it happen. Okay. Tell us about that.
This one actually just won a songwriting competition in the United States. There were over 600 applicants that sent in a song that had social justice theme. And this song is just basically, it was actually written during different protests that were happening in 2019, 2020, during George Floyd, during the pandemic, and it's basically a call to say no. You know, we got to be able to say no about systemic oppression, systemic racism, environmental injustices, and that's basically what the song's about. So you're gonna hear crowds, because I actually recorded the crowds during these protests and demonstrations, and then took those files and incorporated them into the song. So you're gonna hear some of that.
So you have a video to this one?
Not to this one. No, there's a live video.
You just incorporated different things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's hear this one. Here we go.
Let's go. That's the flute that you're hearing. It's the lead flute in all of my work, the indigenous flute. So the crowd is saying, silencing our voices. We won't let it happen. Sacrifice our services. We won't let it happen. Lies to our children. We won't let it happen. Passing laws that keep hurting us. We won't let it happen. Polluted the air, polluted the lakes. We won't let it happen. Opening them and starting to wake. They're trying to keep us down, pero eso no va. Nos quieren explotar, but we won't allow that. And you're hearing instruments right now from the Caribbean of Latin America, you know. Next verse. Censoring our leaders. We won't let it happen. Disrespect frontline workers. We won't let it happen. Vandalize our future. We won't let it happen. Try and divert our purpose. We won't let it happen. To get our consent, better refrain. We won't let it happen. Conquer the land, never again. We won't let it happen. They're trying to beat us down, pero eso no va. Nos quieren explotar, but we won't allow that. A lot of instrumental breaks. It's a 13-piece band, full horn section, guitars, percussionists. So you can find videos of this being performed by the big band. You can't mess with. You can't mess with. You hear the crowd saying you can't mess with? You can't mess with. You can't mess with. You can't mess with. Now in Spanish. No se meta con el aire. No se meta con el aire. No se meta. No se meta. Means you can't mess with.
I love it. I love it. That's your real culture in there.
That's it. That's it.
It's that we gotta go fast.
Yeah, and you know how music from the Caribbean is very interactive, right? It's about breaking the division between audience and performer. Exactly. Yeah, it's all one. Really, we have such a similar history. The Caribbean, the I guess English speaking islands and the Spanish speaking islands, and also that whole area. There are so many similarities. It's just language that kind of makes a division. But if you look at musically, you look culturally, historically, it's all the same history.
All right. So tell us about this one. To the ones. Yeah, to the ones who are coming, to the ones on their way, to the ones who will be here, to the one. It's basically a song dedicated to our children, our grandchildren, all of those who are coming, who let us borrow the land that we're on, because the land that we're on is not ours, is theirs. They're just letting us borrow it. That's why it's important for us to take care of it, because it's theirs, right? So it's a dedication to all of those who are coming. And this one is the one that features all these different artists, beginning from the tip of South America all the way to the north. There's artists in there like Che Uno from Argentina, who was a part of Los Poetas, a really well-known MC here in Toronto. There's artists from El Salvador, Luap. There's artists from the Bronx, New York. Rebel Diaz, there's artists from Texas, and there's artists from Canada as well. So this one is just a big collaboration featuring all these artists. All right, so here we go.
Let's go. To the ones.
You're listening to the Matters DBoss collaboration, ancient, present, future, featuring Zakisha, Che, Mikwatch, J-Wise, Rodstars, Luap, Hope, Mama, Mimi, Rudiel, and the NTM family. To the ones!
Intergenerational wealth, knowledge of self, pass the keys to our seeds, develop spiritual health before we're 6
Zakisha Brown.
Very legacy, something that can outlive we. Yeah.
Representing Jamaica and Canada.
Learn how to cultivate the weather, safe better.
JUNO. Argentina.
I never thought that I could fly high.
MC McWatch, Indigenous MC, Anishinaabe.
Broke me, resurrect my ancestors, now they really woke me.
Hey yo, Never curse the day that Jaja blessed
JY
us.
representing
Remember
Antigua.
that we are our ancestors. Live the life you love and treat it precious. Envy not oppress us. Remember mama dressed us. The ones.
Hey, to the ones who are coming. To the ones on their way. To the ones who will be here.
Many centuries away.
To the ones who are coming. To the ones on their way. To the ones who we borrow the earth from every day.
Future that's been beautiful art. People power, I've been screaming
Rebel
from the
Diaz,
start. Inicio
representing the Bronx.
rebelde like Allende. Bienvenido, pueblo unido, construyendo nuevamente. You should see this generation, the next ones that we're making. We raise them up and tell them, yo, kid, you amazing. You come from an
BC,
age. The culture and vibrations are strong within
Hood Gang
your blood.
Entertainment.
You amazing. Sigo, les he enseñado a sembrar,
Luwa,
cultivar, defender. Luchar y
representing El Salvador.
espero que cumplí mi deber a ver lo real, no solo de creer, porque un día todo esto va a aprender.
Ixu got the young people taking action.
I'm a
Look
rude gal.
at the way they walk around with pride and passion, laughing, big auntie chest
Representing
taps
BC.
in the sky. Next generation, new ancestors, you and I.
Hey, to the ones who are coming. To the ones on their way. To the ones who will be here. Many centuries away. To the ones who are coming. To the ones on their way. To the ones who we borrow the earth from every day.
Woo!
Yeah, to the ones. And this track, I forgot
That's
to
a
mention.
good one.
This
That's
track I
a
forgot
good
to
one.
mention was nominated for the International Indigenous Hip-Hop Music Awards last year for Collaboration of the Year.
Wow.
And this year we got nominated again for another track, which is called One Dish, for Collaboration of the Year. And the group that I lead, that we do Mobile Studio, was nominated for Inspirational Social Change Award. So that was just announced recently.
All right. Well, those are all good. So what's up next for you?
I have a project. Well, there's the Mobile Studio project that I have, which was created as a response to the different barriers that was happening in my community in Jane and Finch, where I've worked for, over 10 years. And some of those barriers are the street tensions that happen between the neighborhoods. So many artists don't travel across neighborhoods because of those different tensions. So we put together a mobile studio where we would go, instead of the artist coming to the studio, we take the studio to the artist. And in the end, we put together an album with collaborations amongst artists who normally would not collaborate. So that is the Mobile Studio community work project that I put together. And this year we're on our 5th year, and we're going to be celebrating the release of that album on September 8th. So that's one project. Another project that I got going is a collaboration with a group from Colombia. And it's 3 phases. The first phase is we already did the first phase where we went to Colombia, did the compositions of the album. The second phase, they're coming here in September to record the album. And then we're going in October to do the album release and do a tour there. So those are some of the projects that I'm currently working on.
Okay. Well, you're going to be looking out for you, and you got to come back and tell us what you're doing when you release.
Most definitely. I would love to.
All right. Okay. So are there any shout outs that you want to give?
I just want to give a shout out to all the people in my community from the Mobile Studio project. I want to give a shout out to all the people in Ovejas, Colombia, who are part of the other project that I spoke about. Shout out to my family, to my wife, to my kids, and to all those people that continue to support the work that I'm doing.
All right. And you can say it in Spanish too, if you're more comfortable.
Bueno, quiero saludar a toda la gente que me ha apoyado en todos los diferentes proyectos. Muchas gracias por su apoyo, y a todos la gente nueva que me acaba de ver, por favor, vayan al sitio web newtraditionmusic.com y ahí pueden ver más de la música que yo hago y se pueden enterar sobre los otros proyectos. Muchas gracias.
All right. So can you tell everybody if they want to follow you, they want to book you, tell what your social medias are?
Most definitely. So it's simple. It's all New Tradition Music. So if you want to go to the website, you can start there because it has the links to everything. And that's www.newtraditionmusic.com. If you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, it's New Tradition Music. YouTube, Spotify, it's New Tradition Music, or you could just Google New Tradition Music. Don't forget the name, New Tradition Music.
Music, people.
Yes.
And we were here with Benny today, and Benny was giving us his journey, and he's still going on, and he's going to come back, and you guys go check him out. He gave you all the information. Go check him out. So I want to thank you, Benny, for coming and talking to us and letting us know, well, hey, well, this is what I am. This is who I am. If people don't know who you are, well, they know now.
DBoss, thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And I really, really hope to come back.
Yes, you are going to come back. We hope. You're coming back.
Really.
All right. So I do want to thank the viewers tonight for tuning in. Real Life Matters. So I want to thank everybody, and bye for now.
Peace and much love.